What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. I know I did a video yesterday on it, and pardon, pardon all the noise. I am outside. I'm sitting on a rooftop. It's what I got for the day, man. It's 4th of July. Happy 4th, everybody. I know my camera isn't working properly right now, but everything else on the screen should be working. I'm going to start moving things around now. You should be able to see me doing this. We're going to do a quick analysis on Bitcoin Cash today. I want to point out some things that are significant, right? So we just broke out of the overbought zone here, which is pretty significant for the bears. Not a good thing for the bulls. We had this upward sloping kind of trend here, and we broke out of it, and now we're going down. I would expect us at least to trend down to the 50, somewhere around there. If not, I guess at the least the 60, but I would expect us to trend down to the 50. But we could, with being this overbought for so long, we really could go straight down to the oversold zone with little turbulence in the way. But straight down to the oversold zone, maybe even get into it or bounce off of it. We could bounce off the 40 and we could bounce off the 50. It's any of those are possible, but I don't expect a bounce here. Though I will say that if the bulls want any hope that a bounce here would be very clutch, it would be very necessary, because you did close out of the overbought zone, but just barely. So if you bounce out of here, if you had a nice sizable bounce, not that much higher from where price is now, if you could close today not much higher, this would look good for a bounce, and that would be a very strong sign. I mean, man, I wouldn't even wait for a pullback at that point. I'd probably get into Bitcoin Cash. I'm not even kidding, because you're going to make a move up to $500 or $800. So this day could be critical. I don't think it is going to be critical. I think that it is going to prove red, and we're going to continue to go down, but with the daily close that we just had, oops, looks like you lost me. You can still hear me, but I lost you on video. Oh, there we are. We're back on. Or maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, guys, lost me on video, but you can still hear me. I'm still doing this stuff, so that's okay. Again, it's 4th of July, so those are not gunshots. Those are fireworks, if anybody hears those. We had this closing daily body here that's just like, it's a massive like Maru Bazoo. Maru Bazoo is a candle that's all body, no wicks, and we didn't have that. There is technically wicks on this one, technically, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close to a Maru Bazoo. So I don't know. I'm thinking that this is indicative that this is just the start of a downward move. It's not going to be a big downward move. These candles are a lot smaller than the candles that we saw up. We're overall going to be in an uptrend. But I think what we're setting up for, again, I said this in my last video, was I think we're setting up, we have a low here. We're just setting up for a higher low. That's about it. And I drew it in this area. Maybe it goes this low. Maybe it goes, this low up here. Maybe it bottoms here even. What it would take for me to change my mind that I'm bearish, again, if we kind of bounce off this area, contained ourselves in the overbought zone, I would get bullish. I'd get bullish very quickly. We start closing days above this daily close here, really above this daily close, but above either of these daily closes, I'm going to get bullish for sure. And that's a little bit of a ways away from the current price. That's about a 10% move, but that's not much, man. I'm telling you, man, if we bounce off of this area and we go up this high, we close up here for the day or higher, this thing's going to go to like $500, $800 really, really, really fast. Maybe not in like an hour, maybe not in a day, but in a couple weeks, it's gonna make moves. But I don't think it's gonna do that at the moment. I think that we actually, let's see, I don't even know. Oop. Yeah, if we had this kind of ascending structure, we kind of broke out of it. Along with getting out of the overbought zone, I'm definitely bearish on this thing, man. Looking at the 4-hour, we can zoom in a little bit. I know I pointed this out yesterday, but being overbought on the long-term RSI is definitely a sign of strength. But this should also tell you, like, man, you were really hot on the RSI. You were way up there on this long-term, and you were up there on the short-term too. But you're below the 50 now on the short-term. I would think that you definitely want to go at least to the overbought or oversold zone. On the long-term, the way that this looks, I mean, it's not so cut in stone like the short-term is. You'd probably play off of previous ranges. I bet that you'd want to go somewhere. You want to go somewhere around here probably with the long term, which is a sizable drop for price. Like price could go well below this purple line here, which is at 190. So I definitely would expect prices to go below that. I'm actually calling for prices that are below 180 to like 145. That's kind of my prediction at the moment. But again, man, this is just more of the same stuff that I've been saying. You know, I made a good video on Bitcoin Cash last night. If you want to watch it, you should definitely check it out. Comparing it to BTC, and it's a little bit more in detail than what I'm saying tonight. I just wanted to give a little quick update because I think this closing out of the overbought zone and having a significant like red closing candle like this that kind of broke this like range that we were in. It's not really a range, but like for 3 days we held this and then we had a very convincing candle to the downside. I think this is the beginning. Today might be a very you know, yesterday was a 6% day. Today might be a 6% day, a 5% day. It might be bigger than that. But I would expect today to close red. And yeah, other than that, you know, there's not really too many important updates, in my opinion. Let's look at the weekly real quick before we wrap up the video. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe. You'll see more. You'll see more even if you don't subscribe, if you look my name up and stuff. But technically, on the weekly, you are rejecting the 50 area. That's not a good look. You are rejecting the purple line while rejecting the 50 area, and this is on the long-term RSI. That's not a good look. That's not condemning, guys. That does not mean that Bitcoin Cash is going to go to the sewers. You know, I think that just means, you know, for a first pass, this is actually kind of to be expected. It's just not a good look. When I say that, I mean that it's not a good look for the short term. I think that it means that we do go down in the short term, and that's okay. You made a very massive move up here, man. But again, rejecting the 50 on the weekly here on this long-term RSI and being below the purple line like this is classic, man. Like it really wouldn't surprise me if we went back down to this previous topping range over here, which is anywhere from like 166 to technically 141, or even I guess even a little bit below that. But I would, you know, I guess from a price perspective, I would look at it like that, but with the technicals or with the tools and stuff that we have, I think using the fibs from bottom to top there, I don't know, the 618's at 148, that could be an expectation. At least the 382, which is at $201. But again, man, anytime that you've seen Bitcoin Cash do a retracement, it's always gone very close to this 50, if not through it. So I'm thinking anywhere from 180 or lower is probably a good bet. I doubt that we go below 120, but we'll see. We'll see. And yeah, that's all the update I got for you guys. So have a good night. Happy 4th. Take care. And we'll see you on the next one. Adios.